Well, I think I see some embossing on this one. Embossing is raised lettering. Oh, we got another one. All kinds of bottles in this cap. Let's see. Duncan F. McNabb, druggist, Moorhead, Minnesota. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It helps out a lot. It doesn't cost anything. It'll just give you a notification when I release a new video. Today I'm in Moorhead, Minnesota, standing in front of a house that was built in 1884. I've got permission to excavate the grounds in search of artifacts, so I'll take a walk around and see what's going on. Here's the house. I'm guessing this main part is the earliest. I was told some additions were put on, but they all seem to be fairly early. In the backyard, seems to be open. There's a garage, but it's smaller. In the gravel lot, we can always drill through. Got a good feeling about this. Just over here behind the garage, near the property line, I noticed a low area. I pushed a probe rod through, hit what I believe is glass and ashes. I've got a good feeling about this. Down about 3 feet, there's all kinds of stuff down here. A lot of broken fragments, some broken canning jars. Nearly got this loose. Looks like a English piece. Johnson Brothers, England. I find a lot of their stuff. They had one of the biggest ironstone exports in the world at the time. Must date to the late 1800s. Plenty of broken canning jars. There's the base, that ironstone piece. It's like a broken extract bottle. You see the color change. That's a coal ash. What do we have here? Oh, looks like could be some kind of medicine, even a utility type piece. Could be ammonia. It's a tooled top. This dates to the late 1800s, maybe very early 1900s. Looks like it's full of groundwater. And a shoe polish. What do we have here? Whitmore, Boston. All right, I find these Whitmore bottles all over the place. This one's a smaller size than I usually dig, but I believe the Whitmore company started in the mid 1800s and continued on into the 20th century. This is another turn of the century piece, 1890s into the very early 1900s. Plenty of stuff in here. I tried probing it and couldn't even get a rod through it. Didn't want to risk breaking anything. Some kind of a drinking glass, maybe a bar glass of some sort. I guess it's not as thick on the bottom, so it could just be a standard tumbler. Again, that turn of the century era. Huh. Looks like some kind of terracotta piece. Some kind of a lid. Maybe we'll find the base down here somewhere. That looks like it was fairly well damaged when it was discarded. that trash layer I was hitting. Oh well. I think they call these tugboat ink for the shape. It's a name coined by collectors. I don't dig these very often. Sanford's, patent applied for. So Sanford's, they were one of the biggest ink manufacturers of their time. They competed with Thomas and Carter. Now, I was told that this end piece could have been for a pen to sit on so it doesn't roll off. I haven't confirmed that exactly though. You can see there's still some ink residue inside. I hear something down there. I think it might be stoneware. Oh wow. Maybe another piece to that terracotta lid we found. Looks like a very ornate planter, possibly. Maybe the base to a flower pot. I just dug in with the pitchfork and saw this bottle. No embossing on it, but that's a Philadelphia oval style prescription. I believe they started making this style in the 1870s and they continued into the turn of the century. This has a kind of beveled lip on it, indicating it's a little earlier, before the turn of the century. I'd put this somewhere in the 1880s or 1890s. Looks like some color change, and you see these specks. Those are undigested seeds, a likely indicator that we're digging in an old outhouse pit. Fortunately, the ground's dry. Water table must be a little lower here, which is nice. Looks like maybe a Bluing bottle. Stewart's probably. There it is, Mrs. Stewart's Bluing, Minneapolis. This is a earlier version of the Minneapolis Stewart's bottles. It's got that circle around the embossing. I don't think it's exactly a slug plate, which would have been made from a stamp. I think it is just a mold feature, but that's definitely an 1890s piece. All these seeds is a good indicator that it hasn't been cleaned out. Sometimes back in the day they would hire people to clean these pits, sort of like what modern day septic tank cleaners do. They did it because of health ordinances. Sometimes they were worried about the pits leaching into a well or water supply of some sort. Oh. And a ironstone china lid. Could be to some kind of dinnerware piece, likely. Got a little decoration on it there. Likely from the late 1800s, likely 1880s or 90s. A broken prescription bottle. And I think this is a damper vent to a stove, one of those old cast iron stoves. Again, a late 1800s piece. What we have here. The stamps are always a good indicator of the age of the pit. Howell and Bishop from England. That's 1890s. I know the black stamps, usually a bit earlier than the blue ones. Seems like the darker the stamp, the earlier it is. Definitely late 1800s. Some redware. Some kind of a like beater crock mixing ingredients in. That's earlier. Could be 1870s or 80s. Huh. And another little ink bottle, I think. Patented March 22nd. Hard to read that date on it. I thought it was 1892 at first, but can't tell. It has like a double stamp on it. Likely some kind of an ink bottle, ground lip. Got a couple bottles. I think that's a prescription there. Let's see. Sometimes this stuff's just intertwined, so you gotta be careful. You don't want to damage anything. A blank prescription bottle. Can't tell. It's a weak stamp, but that's 1890s for sure. Oh, some kind of a toiletry, maybe a perfume. So blank would have likely had a very ornate label on it. A lot of these toiletry bottles did. Some more broken mason jars. And another one of these. Maybe this one has a better stamp on the bottom. March 22nd, 1892. Let's see, March 22nd, 92. It's another ground lip piece. Oh, and an intact saucer. J&G Meakin, Hanley, England. Find a lot of pieces from this company. This was likely dropped by mistake. Doesn't look like there's any damage. Another broken mason jar. And a blank prescription bottle. Okay, the mark on the bottom, DF and Company, that's Dean Foster. That's a classic sunburst pattern. It's found on a lot of their bottles. This has a rounded lip. Could put it closer to that turn of the century era. It's a really nice blue. It's a mason jar, likely a mason's patent. Definitely with that ridge there, it's a shoulder seal. Oh, and a flat style flavoring extract. Named it for its flat shape. These likely held like lemon, almond, just any kind of standard flavors for baking. Some people drank it for the alcohol content. On the side, all kinds of pieces started falling out here. It's like a broken mason jar and some kind of a glass lid, maybe a candy dish lid. I think it's a pressed glass, late 1800s, early 1900s. A beer bottle. Careful not to damage anything here. That's an oldie. FHGW. I've dug a lot of these. I believe that's the Frederick Heights Glassworks. You can see all these ripples. They call that whittle. Now, I was told that it was caused from a beginning of the mold pour, where the mold plates were cold and the glass was hot, and that caused the ripple effect in it. This is an old one. It was an applied top. They may have broken it opening the cork. Pair of scissors, shears, possibly. And part of a chamber pot. It's terracotta. I usually don't find these in a terracotta. It's usually ironstone. Oh, that's kind of nice. Wonder if it's cut glass. Oh yeah, some kind of a cut glass dish. You can tell it's cut because it's so sharp. Another late 1800s piece. It's like some salt glazed stoneware. You can tell it's salt glazed. It's got that kind of matte finish on it. They used salt glaze into the 1890s, turn of the century, and it was replaced by a smoother zinc glaze. Huh. Broken drinking glass. It's like a ketchup bottle. I think they call this a champagne style because of the shape. It's got a tooled top, early twist cap. These ketchup bottles got twist caps before a lot of other bottles. And a blank prescription. No glass house mark on this one. That's nice. Must be the top to that ornate base I found. Looks like an acorn pattern. Terracotta. Interesting they had painted it red. That's probably a linseed oil paint with lead in it. Oh, maybe I'll find all the pieces. This could be something worth piecing together. Actually, one of the more ornate flower planters I've found. Huh. I might have all of it. Some more salt glazed stoneware. And a lamp burner. So the fuel reservoir would have been down here. A wick would have come out and it'd light it. It would have the chimney up here. Sometimes you can get the company names on these, but this one is fairly well deteriorated. Looks like there's a cap layer, but the pit continues. Looks like there's a few bottles, maybe prescriptions or liquor flask. I think they're prescriptions. All right, we've got another blank Dean Foster and Company. It's got the sunburst on the bottom, circa 1900. Maybe we'll get one with embossing. Some clay packed on it. LED Company. All right. I believe they were a pharmaceutical supplier. Looks like another blank. And yeah, another blank prescription. Well, I think I see some embossing on this one. Embossing is raised lettering. Oh, we got another one. All kinds of bottles in this cap. Let's see. Duncan F. McNabb Druggist, Moorhead, Minnesota. Made by the Dean Foster Company. It's like the lip's a little chipped from the cork being pried out way back in the day. Maybe we'll get another embossed one. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff down here. Yeah. Another blank prescription bottle. What do we have here? Maybe some kind of pharmaceutical. Broke liquor flask. Another piece of that flower pot, I believe. An amber bottle. Alright, this is all kind of intertwined. I gotta be careful. Oh, here we go. B.F. McCall, Druggist, Moorhead, Minnesota. It's probably hard to read the embossing with the white paint. I'll see if I can maybe smudge it a little bit. There's probably some kind of pharmaceutical product in there, actually. This is a Dean Foster and Company bottle. I believe they were patented in, yeah, there it is, 1888. You can see the 88 patent on the bottom. That's a nice one. get this out here could be difficult. There's all kinds of stuff packed in here. Another piece to that flower pot. This could be a bitters or a tonic. Huh. It looks like some kind of blank pharmaceutical bottle. And a tooled top flat style flavoring extract. Looks like we've got an amber bottle. Feel some embossing on it. Got a couple clear ones as well. This clay layer just keeps giving. Another blank prescription made by the LED company or for the LED company. Another blank. No glass company marks on this one. I gotta be careful. This could be a really good one. Wow. Dr. T.W. Graydon, Cincinnati, Ohio, diseases of the lungs. It's a tooled top patent medicine. I think I dug one of these ones in Yankton, South Dakota. It's a prescription style, but held a patent medicine. Broken blank patent medicine, but something underneath it. It's like a prescription bottle. There we go. Duncan F. McNabb, druggist, Moorhead, Minnesota. Made by the Dean Foster Company. You see the sunburst. It's not too bad. I think that's a 6 or an 8 ounce size. These usually came in a 1 ounce up to 16 ounce, but some companies had a 1/4 ounce up to a 32 ounce. I think I'm just about on bottom. There's a few ticks of glass down here. Looks like a little prescription. That's a Philadelphia oval style. It's a little older, maybe a little more squared lip than a bevel, but it's definitely 1890s, maybe 1880s. We got a couple more. Little round style prescription bottle, tooled top. kinds of stuff is packed in here. Oh, Griggs Cooper and Company, home brand flavoring extracts. I believe they were based out of St. Paul, Minnesota. I have a couple bottles down here. This one has some embossing. Duncan F. McNabb, druggist, Moorhead, Minnesota. This one's mint. It's got the Dean Foster sunburst on the bottom. Got a few of these now. May have some more embossing. Can't say for sure. What do we have here? Oh, hey. GW Bottle Pharmacist, Castleton, North Dakota. Oh, that's a ways down the rail line. It's got the Dean Foster sunburst on the bottom. You know, I've actually dug the earlier versions from this pharmacy. They say Castleton, Dakota, so pre-statehood, which was November 2nd or 3rd, 1889. And a little prescription, so I mentioned the smaller sizes. This is likely a 1/4 ounce or a 1/2 ounce. And Dr. Thompson's Eye Water, New London, Connecticut. It's a popular product. I've dug a lot of these over the years. It looks like another prescription bottle. What do we have? Maybe a, I don't know, shoe polish of some sort. SBW company. I guess, you know what, looks like blacking. I see the residue in there. Some kind of a blacking bottle. We got a few pieces. Working my way across. I think we cleaned out this side. There we go, another shoe polish bottle. Whitmore from Boston. There's something else, looks like a liquor flask. Broken. No embossing. There we go. And B.F. McCall Druggist, Moorhead, Minnesota, established 1873. I think that's a little smaller size than the one we dug. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Oh, Duncan F. McNabb, druggist, Moorhead, Minnesota. Dean Foster mark on the bottom. Another one of these blank pharmaceuticals. And all this stuff is definitely from that 1890s era. definitely a solid trash layer. Oh, there's a little pill bottle, partial label on it, too far gone to read. These held just very tiny pills. Could have been maybe even a sample size. And an ironstone china coffee cup, the bottom knocked out. Late 1800s. NB&C. I don't know what this was. It has a different shape. It could have been a pharmaceutical. It's got some ground lines. They call that. It's etching from the ground breaking down the surface of the glass. And a prescription bottle filled with groundwater, likely from the 1890s. And a shoe fly style liquor flask. These became popular in the late 1870s. The earlier versions generally had pointed edges that they called a knife edge. It was a term coined by collectors. And the rounded edges came onto standard production during the mid-1880s. And a Philadelphia Oval style prescription bottle. On another Graydon's Diseases of the Lungs, patent medicine. Nice amber color. And a ball neck panel style flavoring extract. They call it a ball neck panel because of the ridge there on the neck, and it's a paneled bottle. Oh, see some embossing. Looks like a larger, maybe prescription bottle. Huh. Got a couple. Let's see if this one's intact. This could be good. Oh, there we go, 12 ounce. Duncan F. McNabb, druggist, Moorhead, Minnesota. This is a Whittle Tatum 1892 patent. See the embossing there on the bottom? That's a real nice one. blank pharmaceutical. The same type of. I think I found 3 of these in this pit now. And a tool top shoe flask style liquor flask. Broken prescription. And an ironstone china coffee cup. Right down here on bottom, looks like a Warner's safe here. I find these all over the US. Let's see. There's actually a few different variants of this bottle. Some of them can be extremely collectible. Warner's Safe Kidney and Liver Cure. Okay, that's an applied top. This likely dates to the earliest days of the house. Now, I don't think this is the backward hinge pattern, but some of the molds, for whatever reason, were made backwards. So the safe has backwards hinges, and that's incredibly collectible. This has got to be 1880s. Pit maybe nearing the end, but it's still giving up a few pieces. Another Tugboat ink. That's kind of cool. So it's got the Sanford's label on it there. Not often you find these with intact labels. They'll likely disintegrate in minutes. For anyone wanting to preserve these, if they're doing this type of thing, artist fixative works well. It's archival grade, non-yellowing, and should hold the labels in place. Tool top shoe flask style liquor flask. And a blank prescription bottle from the 1890s. It seems this pit may have been cleaned out once and refilled. There's a kind of a clay cap layer and then some stuff underneath it. Okay. Dr. S. Pitcher's Castoria. I find a lot of these was a castor oil medicine. That's a tooled top. I think I saw some embossing. I wonder, could it be Duncan F. McNabb, druggist, Moorhead, the Dean Foster sunburst on bottom. pit's done. Here's the haul. I concluded this was an outhouse pit used by the residents in the 1880s to 1890s. Got a good variety, an amazing amount of embossed prescription bottles from Moorhead and the one from Castleton. Some flavoring extracts, liquor flasks, patent medicines, ink bottles, some blank prescriptions, pharmaceuticals, bluing bottles, some dinnerware, ketchup. Well, there you have it. We'll get this thing filled back in.